Hey, there's enemies coming from the right. Why do we have all 3 units in this little gap? Can you please send one to protect our back? Thank you so much. Hello and welcome. Today I will try to answer the question, what commander should I play with? The Barbarian Archers. If you want to play the Barbarian Archer units, you can currently choose between 3 commanders. The first commander, Arminius, is one of the 3 commanders that will be unlocked when you first log into the game. Despite having the most beautiful face in Total War Arena, he provides the right abilities if you want to be mobile on the battlefield. Plus the unique ability of disguising yourself, leaving inattentive enemies unaware of your attack. The second commander is... Now, I would love to share all the details on how useful it is to grant your archers temporary immunity to routing while you torch attacking infantry and cavalry, then watch your archers die anyway, only because his attack bonus cannot be applied on ranged units. But yeah, I think I will leave this mysterious in-depth information of advanced ancient warfare for another video. Okay, let's give it a try. Vercingetorix on the new Oasis map. We are holding the middle. We have to show dominance. These enemies are weak, and we are the mighty Vercingetorix. Ha! Fools! You have come in range of my torches. Burn, Leonidas! Wow, this is so much damage. Plus the archer's salvo. Vercingetorix is the best commander in the world! Oh, hell no! The probably most interesting commander for this is Boudica. Why? She has an outstanding taste in fashion, amazing cooking skills for a Brit, she's a friend of nature and has 2 strong arms, which is probably the most important thing about her, as she can do laundry with one arm while making a sandwich with the other one. You know what I hate about Boudica? You ask her for a sandwich, she goes to the kitchen, and when you follow her after 5 minutes, the kitchen is in flames. She's just standing there, and when you ask her, "How did you burn the kitchen while cutting a slice of bread?" she just looks at you and blames one of her ludicrous cats. Let's have a look at the abilities of the commanders. Arminius' first ability is Momentum. This makes Arminius, in my opinion, such a great choice for playing archers. The maximum movement speed bonus of 19% can be unlocked in the perk tree at tier 4, the maximum turn speed at tier 6. Now, as the Barbarian Archers have the higher base movement speed compared to their Greek counterparts, this ability makes playing a mobile attack archer commando a lot of fun. You can use this speed to effectively dodge enemy archer salvos, run away from incoming cavalry charges on the last second, not feel helpless when an enemy Arminius is trying to run down your archers with infantry units, or you do some home runs for easy GGs and bling bling. Okay, we activate our movement buffs and go for the enemy base in order for a home run. Meaning we capture their base before they can say, "Oh my god, the Germans are coming." With our enormous speed bonus we should be absolutely fine, unless we run into Arminius who tries to run us down. Okay guys, we're almost there and... Oh, come on, seriously? Okay, let's run home instead. Oh no, my arch nemesis. The only downside to this ability is that you have to keep moving in order to keep the bonus alive. If your archer stands still for 1 full second or longer, the ability will deactivate. This is not a real problem since the cooldown to reactivate the ability starts with its first activation. The 1 second wiggle room allows the use of focus fire with its very low 15 second cooldown, and the cooldown of momentum itself can be reduced to 24 seconds at tier 5. The second ability is Frenzy. Let's keep this short. Unless your archers run out of ammunition or will to live, you shouldn't search for a situation in which you need to activate Frenzy. However, if you end up in melee combat with enemy cavalry, this ability might give you a fighting chance. Wait. This guy is sending his war dogs versus infantry? Does he know that doesn't work? Man, you're suiciding. Stop doing that. Now you will see my special strategy. It is for soldiers that are special. Man, I wish I had that level of leadership. No, but seriously, if you get attacked by enemy cavalry and you think, should I activate Frenzy or should I not to keep my defense high? Pro tip, the archer defense is as low as non-existent. Always always activate Frenzy when you get engaged by enemy cavalry. Arminia's last ability is Infiltration. This is another movement speed buff of only 5% by tier 5. To make this ability really useful, you might want to reach tier 9 with Arminius. Not only do you get a 5% missile weapon range bonus, but also now the movement speed buff can be improved to 11%, giving your units a 30% movement speed buff in total, until you are being attacked by the enemy. And that is really the sad part about this ability. You want these nice buffs, while pretending to your enemies that you're an ally doesn't do really much. Most of the time the enemy can tell that you're an enemy as soon as you show up on their screen, because other than from real allies they do not get the information of your view. As soon as you get attacked, you lose the sweet buff, with the base cooldown being 280 seconds. This is a really annoying thing. That is why I recommend you to activate it as soon as the match starts, so maybe you can use it a second or even third time in lower tier battles. From tier 9 you can lower the cooldown on this down to 180 seconds or 3 minutes. Judging by the abilities, you should adjust your playstyle with Arminius as follows. Run a lot, don't get hit, support your team where it needs you. Pay a lot of attention to the map, because you actually have the tools to turn the outcome of an engagement before the ship has sailed. What you should always keep in mind while playing archers: never start blobbing. If you right click a spot, all your units will run to that one spot. If you hold the right mouse button and draw the cursor into the direction your soldiers should face, they will stand in a line each by themselves. Why is this so important? Not only does it make it harder for the enemy cavalry to eliminate you with one charge, but also while fighting enemy archers, your units will suffer less damage and survive longer. Just look how I single-handedly wiped 2 enemy archers while barely losing 1 full archer unit. Only because they do this thing that is called blobbing, which makes each and every one of my salvos hit all 3 of their units, whereas their salvos only hit a single one of mine. This does not really belong into a specific commander special, but since we're on the topic of archers and which way to play them, this is always the way. Now we continue with the abilities of Boudica. Her first ability is Talented Chef. This ability is your only movement speed buff with Boudica, and even though you can improve the speed buff to 40% bonus movement speed by tier 6, the cooldown and active time make this a short escape at best. A 4-second charge followed by a 40-second cooldown, meaning 10% of the match you can have the speed buff. Comparing to the theoretically possible 100% of Arminia's 30% speed buff, the only improvements to the cooldown and active time can be unlocked by tier 8, increasing the active time to 6 seconds and reducing the cooldown to 35 seconds. With Boudica, you're absolutely not a mobile archer unit. Her second ability is Tree Hugger. This is the ability that makes Boudica a viable option for the Barbarian archers. You do not only improve your missile weapon range far enough that you will be able to shoot every archer unit before they can shoot you, except for another Boudica archer commander, but also you increase your view range, making you an effective scout, even in the forest. By tier 10 you will have a 50% increased view range and a 20% increased missile weapon range. 20%! With the last weapon upgrade on the tier 10 archers, you could even successfully fight Greek slingers with this range. What am I talking? You will outrange slingers if you use the matching consumables on the tier 10 Barbarian archers. How amazing is that? The downside with this is unfortunately that you get a massive speed debuff. On top of all these sweet cherry sundaes. Reaching tier 10 will allow you to lower this debuff to minus 20% movement speed, but it still leaves you more vulnerable to everything that wants to kill you. So if you want to use this ability, make sure that you have enough allied units around that actually defend you, unlike this guy. I didn't look for 1 second. Just 1 second, and boom, my archers are dead. The last ability on Boudica is Rebellion. Never a good thing to have on a woman that you want to rely on. But don't worry, it cannot be applied on archers anyway, so you can just trash this ability. All in all, as an archer player, you are meant to deal a lot of damage from safe distances. Boudica makes this possible better than any other archer commander, but leaves you vulnerable at the same time, and lacks the mobility that is so important for archer units, as your damage potential relies heavily on the positioning and flanking that you can do with your archers on the offense. Until tier 8, I therefore recommend an only defensive playstyle, or attacking with enough allied infantry units. But on the offense, you will still be less useful if your allies engage into melee combat, because shooting your allies in the back while trying to attack the enemy infantry in front of them only results in heavy losses on your side and a broken friendship, while the necessary flanks are simply impossible due to the lack of mobility. Taking all the unique commander abilities into consideration leaves me with the following tips for you. If you want to play aggressive, play Arminius. If you want to have the chance to still support your right flank after you have either succeeded or retreated from the left flank, play Arminius. Or you want to go for a home run, Arminius is the right choice for you. If you want to get used to archers and barbarian archers as well, I also recommend you to play with Arminius. Boudica, even though she has the really nice range buff for your archers, is quite vulnerable to far more unit types and therefore has a limited variety of strategies you can make use of. If you play her, you should either position yourself very defensive on a hill with a cliff, or slowly attack while making sure you have enough allies to protect you. Flanking is very risky with her, so it might happen that you either sacrifice your units for a heavily damaging salvo, or that you decide to not flank at all and only be useful with the focus fire every 15 seconds. Or, and this would be really bad, you deal a lot of friendly fire by shooting your allies in the back, which makes you a very unpleasant person to play with. So get the hell out of here. My recommendation is play the archers with Arminius if you want to grind them. For the daily victory, Boudica will be good enough, but really enjoyable to play probably only at tier 10 with 20% missile weapon bonus range. So leave her in the front end and you already lower your chances of waking up in flames, because Boudica was in the mood for a midnight snack. If you want to play Boudica but you're also a troll, play Vercingetorix. Stick with your allies, and when the enemies engage into melee combat, you start burning them and shoot the fleeing enemies in their back, giving you the satisfaction and dealing a ton of damage within seconds. But one thing you should not do. Think you need to help this kind of player that sends all 3 of his units into the arena gap on Salernum, without positioning just one to defend your back. How the hell did this happen to me twice in one day? I cannot believe my archers actually survived that cavalry charge. Where am I on the scoreboard? Wow, pretty good. I think it's the mustache.